sector. So the entire sector is divided into three parts. We have the upstream, we have the midstream, and we have the downstream. So on the upstream, there is a lot of work going on in exploration and then production. And currently, India imports 85% of its requirement as far as the crude is concerned, and about 53% of its requirement as far as natural gas is concerned. So, which would mean that there is huge scope for increasing the domestic production. Now, some people would say that India doesn't have the resource. So, recently we've done a complete survey of the onshore. The entire country has been mapped. This exercise has been completed recently, and the data is being now analyzed. So earlier there was a lot of criticism that enough information is not available. So now very good information is already available in slightly raw form and would be available in process form very shortly. So this will throw a huge opportunity for investors who want to work in the upstream sector. And as more investment comes into the upstream sector, there will be huge requirement for contractors of various types, EPC, huge requirements of private sector coming in as service providers in a very big way. Now we are looking at a slightly different model. Earlier, ONGC and the large government companies used to do everything. Now we are looking at a model where large government companies play a lesser role, which means that the private sector can directly come in because large chunks are being tendered out. We have this open acreage policy. Anyone can come and select an area and ask us, and we will put it for bid. And then we have these discovered small field policy, where even small fields where discoveries have been made and not monetized, they are being offered to the private sector. So that's one area. But a bigger area is where the larger companies who have some work already, they will not do it themselves. They will offer it to private players as service providers who, if they have the equipment, then they can do everything. It's almost, it could be a system where a profit sharing is there, or it could also be a EPC, or it could also be a something more than an EPC. So those models have to be tried out. So that will open out a huge area as far as the upstream sector is concerned. In gas, natural gas, huge discoveries are more than likely. Already discoveries have been made, and the domestic gas production is slated to go 1.5 times in the next 2 years, and much more is likely to happen. Then now moving on to the midstream, setting up refineries, setting up petrochemicals, setting up other units which are related to this. Now that is another area where huge investment is expected. While our current refining capacity is 249 million metric tons per annum, and already Prime Minister has announced that we will take it to 450 million metric tons. So huge expansion on the refinery side also. So, and you know that each refinery, for example, this refinery coming up in Rajasthan, investment is about 50,000 crores. So each refinery is huge investment, and therefore huge opportunity for EPC, huge opportunity for all types of contracts, all types of business. And then if we have refineries, we are moving more and more into petrochemicals. We are moving more and more into certain other products, which will then open opportunities for more industry to come in, because that raw material gets available. And then a lot of things which are currently being imported, there are at least a number of products which are being 100% imported, and that raw material would now be available in the country, and therefore further manufacturing, maybe it could be paints, plastics, 1,000 types of chemicals, so many things that those possibilities would come up, and therefore the possibilities of huge, not only a lot of work to set up these various plants which would come up, but also down the line, downstream, more and more value addition would be possible. And then looking at the gas, natural gas sector, we are moving into gas-based economy. So this involves setting up of huge infrastructure. The infrastructure consists of the distribution network in the entire country. So every household, every industry, every commercial establishment, everything has to be connected. So the world gets connected by what? Internet, telephone, power supply, and also gas. So you need all these in every building. So this involves setting up huge distribution networks. And this again is very big job, lot of investment to come in. So this work is currently on, and already the areas have been given out covering 53% of the total geographical area of the country. So more tenders are expected, but those areas which have been given out so far, in most of the areas, work has just started. Maybe they are planning, or maybe they've taken some approvals. So laying of pipelines, all that, that's again huge EPC work, huge scope for people who want to get into this kind of work. So, and then laying the main pipeline. So the main trunk network total planned for the country is 34,000 kilometers. Out of that, around 18,500 is already functional now. And every year some more would get commissioned, and then there may be some spur lines also which would need to come up. So laying the gas infrastructure would also be a huge business opportunity. Then storage of all products, gas, LPG, petrol, diesel, crude, everything, that again throws a huge opportunity. And then looking at the marketing side, while we have a good network of retail outlets, but then things are changing. So our retail outlets are going to change. Multiple types of fuels would be available. So we are talking of ethanol blended petrol. We are talking of biofuels. We are talking of EV charging on these retail outlets. So all these things throw up opportunities where we want private sector to come in. The facilities are there, but someone has to come in, and you can set up your dispensing units on these available facilities. And then into biofuels in a very big way. So we are talking of 20% blending, and then maybe it goes up to 30% in petrol, ethanol. So ethanol, just 20% blending, we would need 1,000 crore liters of ethanol every year, 1,000 crore liters, which means that the current capacity, we are not even able to get about 350 crore liters. So huge gap. And similarly, compressed biogas. So there again, target is 5,000 plants. So all this throws up huge business opportunities. Currently, just the government companies are doing a capex of 1 lakh crores a year. We plan to take it to about 2 lakh crores. So you can just see the kind of investment which is there and the kind of business opportunities which are there. So that's all from my side. Just a brief introduction of how the sector is going forward. Thank you.